Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very glad that you are back here, and today I'm very excited because I want to share with you my birth story. So what inspired me to share my birth story was actually that my little cousin in Brazil just had her first baby. So all these newborn vibes and all this me thinking about my own experience when I gave birth to Leo made me want to do this video. Just to explain, because I just recently launched this channel, I'm going to be speaking a lot in the past because my son is now 2 years old already, but this is something that I want to share with you guys, and because I'm going to be talking about different things to give you a better picture, I think I'm going to split this into a 3-part video. So welcome to part 1 of this video, and here I will be sharing a little information about my pregnancy story so that you guys can have a better picture of how and why things happened the way they did. So this will probably be a very chitty-chatty and very long video. Make sure you get comfortable, get yourself a cup of tea or drink, and sit down and let's begin. I do have my little diary here I had to write notes down because baby brain is still real here. So I don't want to miss anything I want to tell you guys. Whenever I can insert a little video or a picture just to make things more relevant, I'll try to do so you can get a better picture of the whole story. So part 1, my pregnancy story. So starting with my pregnancy story. Matt and I were currently living in Australia, and our visa was about to expire and we wanted to go back to Malta. We really wanted to take a year off, and we decided to have kids in that year off. And I think we tried for about 2 months and I got pregnant, which was great because everything happened the way they did. My body was ready for it and we didn't really have any issues with that. And whenever I went to the doctors here to, go for the regular ultrasounds or blood checkups and stuff, my blood pressure would be slightly high, a bit borderline, but I would just put it down to nerves because I used to feel very anxious and very, very excited when I had to go visit the doctors, and I never thought anything of it. And as soon as I hit 3 months pregnancy, we went back to Malta. And on my first hospital appointment, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia. Now, if you don't know what preeclampsia is, it can be a very serious condition that pregnant women experience. It's basically you get high blood pressure, and there are other signs as well. You can get swelling in your hands and your feet. You can get very severe headaches. You can see like little floating balls in the air. What else? Another thing that can be found is protein in your urine, and it can be very dangerous during pregnancy for you and the baby. So if you do feel any of these signs, it is very important that you speak to your midwife or your doctor so that you can do further testing to rule it out or find it and treat it. Mind you, I never felt any of these symptoms. With like severe preeclampsia, you usually feel really bad with all the side effects of the thing, I would say. And I think what it's called is asymptomatic preeclampsia. So I never felt anything, but I had the crazy blood pressure readings. I had to end up taking medications, and between 3 and 6 months of pregnancy, despite feeling fine and everything, the only thing I had was like some sciatic nerve back pain. That's what I had. But apart from that, I never had any other issues. So my blood pressure kept getting worse between 3 and 6 months. I was already on medication, and my medication dose had to be increased in order to keep it under control until I was at the maximum dose that a pregnant woman can take of the medication. So at 7 months, I had to be hospitalized, and I was stuck in hospital for my last month of pregnancy. I spent 3 weeks in total in the maternity ward, and if I had to be honest with you, it was one of the hardest and most emotional periods of my life. Just being stuck in hospital and doing the same routine over and over again for a whole 3 weeks that I was there, it starts to take a toll on you. And being in the maternity ward, I was with other pregnant women. They had their own issues. Other women had miscarriages. So me being there, having to deal with my own problems, seeing other women go through other problems, and seeing other women go through losses, it was an emotional roller coaster ride, and yeah, it was a real challenge. Thankfully, we had a lot of support from the midwives that used to take care of us, and we also like ended up making friends with each other, the pregnant women and stuff. So that was something nice, like a nice memory that I take away from there. And up until this day, I am friends with a couple of them, and I'm very grateful to have shared this experience with them. But yeah, I do admit it was one of the hardest things that I had to go through. So between all the monitors, blood tests, urine tests, ultrasounds, and everything that I was routinely doing while under observation at the hospital, one of my scans picked up that Leo had stopped growing, and that's when things got a bit alarming, because they basically ordered a more detailed ultrasound, which is a Doppler, I believe it's called a Doppler ultrasound, and that confirmed that my placenta wasn't giving enough to the baby, and that was when they decided that it was better out than in. So my doctor informed me that I was going to have to give birth a month before, and my original due date was the 22nd of September, but I was scheduled for a C-section on the 22nd of August. So Leo was gonna be born a whole month before his own time. And honestly, I was okay with it. I had mentally prepared myself for the C-section operation. It's just one of those things that you think about when you're about to become a mom for the first time. I was completely okay with it. I had come to terms that I was gonna have to have this operation because it was the safest option for me and my baby to come into this world, and I trusted in the doctors and stuff. And the reason why she told me I had to have a scheduled C-section was because of my high blood pressure. She basically said, you can have a heart attack if you exert yourself too much, and we wouldn't want that to happen to you while you're in labor. So it was pretty scary, and I was completely okay with it. Then 3 days, I think it was 3 days or 2 days before my scheduled C-section, they come to check me and they do a sweep. If you don't know what a sweep is, they just check you with their fingers to see how your cervix is and stuff. And they found me 3 centimeters dilated already. And little did I know that this was going to be a game changer. So the next day, the doctor comes to see me again, and she's like, I was informed that you were already 3 centimeters dilated, and because your body is already showing signs of natural labor, she said, we can actually try a natural labor, like you actually have a chance. And I was like, okay, yeah. She's like, don't worry, like we'll try the natural birth, we will induce you, and if anything goes wrong, or if we see that the baby isn't doing very well, we will then proceed with an emergency C-section. So that was the plan, and they left me there in my room, and I remember just sitting there, the curtains were closed, and I'm just laying there in my bed, and I got so emotional. It's such an emotional roller coaster, because I had mentally prepared myself for an operation, and then all of a sudden I have to come to terms that I'm gonna have to push a watermelon out of my vagina. I know. So it took a bit of a moment. Like I actually cried. Not because I was scared or any, I mean I was scared, but not because I was disappointed. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot that I went through in those 3 weeks, and then for the plans to keep changing, you know, and you're pregnant, your hormones are just all over the place. So yeah, after they after that, all that happened, and I mentally prepared myself that I had to give birth. I was like, it's okay, I am a woman, I can do this, this is what my body is made for, you know, I can do this. I basically just mentally prepared myself all over again. I had like a whole day at the hospital, and I started getting other signs of labor. Like I had extreme lower back pain. My legs felt so heavy. Like in the evenings, the pregnant women would like hang out in the kitchen or in each other's rooms, and we just talk here and there. And I remember just feeling so exhausted and so tired that I just wanted to be in my own bed and like sleep. And I did sleep super early that day because I was so excited for what awaited me the next day. So the next day at 6 a.m., Matt shows up at the hospital, and I was so nervous. I couldn't stop shaking. Like I was shaking, uncontrollably shaking. And I remember asking, like, it's a bit cold today, isn't it? And everyone's like, nah, not really. It was nerves. Like I couldn't control my body. But I was happy Puppy was there, and we slowly started making our way to the delivery suite. So guys, this is the end of part 1. I will actually be doing my labor and birth story in part 2. So make sure you are subscribed, and also make sure you hit the bell so that you are notified of when that video is up, so that we can keep up with the story. I'm very excited to share that with you guys. So yeah, I guess I'll just see you there. Bye for now.